Pioneers are explorers. Pioneers are innovators. Pioneers are leaders. We are Marietta College. We are pioneers. Find out how you can become a PIO at www.marietta.edu.
Coming up today on NewsCenter 15, Lula reclaims the Brazilian presidency.
A lost snake found and more.
We'll have all these stories and more. NewsCenter 15 starts now. Good afternoon. Welcome to Monday's edition of NewsCenter 15. I'm Austin Ambergy.
And I'm Evie Gravlin.
Topping our news this afternoon. Forensic experts on the scene of a crowd surge that killed hundreds over the weekend in South Korea. Crews are searching for information and trying to determine the identities of everyone lost in the hell-like chaos that killed more than 150 people, mostly in their 20s and 30s, when a huge Halloween party crowd surged into a narrow alley in a nightlife district in Seoul. It's remained unclear what led the crowd to surge into the downhill alley in the Itaewon area on Saturday night. Witnesses says people fell on each other like dominoes. One witness said she performed CPR on 10 people who were unconscious, mostly women wearing witch outfits and other Halloween costumes. 9 of them were declared dead on the spot. Nearly 2/3 of the 153 people killed were women.
Russia has resumed its blockade of Ukrainian sports, cutting off urgently needing grain exports to hungry parts of the world. U.S. President Joe Biden called the move a really outrageous act and warned that global hunger could increase. Russia has suspended a UN-brokered deal to allow safe passage of ships carrying grain from Ukraine, one of the world's bread baskets. The Kremlin took the step because it alleged that Ukraine staged a drone against Russia's Black Sea fled off occupied Crimea. Ukraine has denied the attack. Ukraine's infrastructure ministry reported that a total of 218 ships involved in grain exports have been blocked. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in a video addressed Sunday that Russia is blackmailing the world with hunger. Here to provide a first look at the weather is Landon Santini.
Well, it seems like I've spoke a bit prematurely the last time we were together about the summer temperatures being behind us. Well, in particular today, it feels like 62 outside with a expected high of 67 in very cloudy conditions. Because of the precipitation we had very early this morning, we have a rarely low UV index with an excellent air quality and a slight pollen count of 0.1. The winds were running around the south at roughly 9 miles per hour, and it's ultimately scared off a lot of dogs aside from the zombies. It's doing a good job of scaring them. As I was saying, we have been having on and off again recurrences of switching back and forth between autumn and summer temperatures. So I spoke a bit prematurely about us being done with that. The rain we had earlier this morning is part of what's given us a humidity of roughly 93%, and we could have a possibility of a little bit more coming back as we get through the Halloween festivities this evening when nightfall occurs. But we'll talk about how that affects the rest of the Mid-Ohio Valley's week as we go into the month of November tomorrow. We'll talk about that in more detail when I return later on in the program for the 5-day forecast. But for now, have a happy Halloween, and back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Landon. In other news, Brazilians have declared a victory to Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva in a divisive election, giving the former leftist president another shot over incumbent Jair Bolsonaro's politics. Da Silva received almost 51% of the votes, and Bolsonaro only received 49% of the votes. Bolsonaro has yet to concede or react to the news of the election.
Military aid is searching for people after a 143-year-old pedestrian bridge collapsed Sunday evening. This happened in the western Indian state of Gujarat. At least 133 people have been killed. Attention has turned to answers as to why the bridge collapsed, as over 100 people fell into the Machu River. Videos show people holding onto the bridge and trying to get out. The bridge has been reopened after being closed for 6 months due to repair. Officials have said it was overloaded with tourists there for the Hindu festival season.
Coming up, a snake on the loose.
And a train off the tracks.
Hey, this is Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right now, many of us feel anxious. Mindfulness can help you ease those feelings. My nonprofit is partnering with Headspace to offer free content to help you stress less. Head to kevinlovefund.org/headspace.
Here's to the straggly ones, the first ones. But hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones, and the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
A Swedish zoo was on the lookout for a king cobra named Sir Hiss, who had escaped from his terrarium. Sir Hiss, a 7-foot king cobra, was missing for over 1 week. They found the snake between the walls of the insulation. This type of snake would not have survived in the cold climate if he had gotten out of the building, officials said.
7 people injured in Missouri last week after a train car derails. Officials say only 1 person remained in the hospital the day after. The Frisco Silver Dollar Line steam train brings guests on a scenic 20-minute ride with a countryside view. There has been no determination at this time stating that caused the train to derail.
New York is settling lawsuits on behalf of 2 men who have been exonerated for the 1965 assassination of Malcolm X. David Shaney's, their lawyer, confirmed that the city had agreed to pay $26 million for the wrongful convictions, and both men spent decades in prison. The state is going to pay $10 million. This comes after the Manhattan judge dismissed the convictions for both men. Prosecutors explained that new evidence of witness intimidation and suppression of evidence undermined the case against both of them.
The attack on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband in their home in San Francisco carried zip ties with him when he came in. This comes after a brief on the investigation spoke with anonymity to the case. It's yet another parallel to the insurrection on January 6th. Officers say the suspect confronted Paul Pelosi's early Friday and demanded to know where his wife was. During the insurrection, the same event occurred during the halls of the Capitol with people carrying zip ties.
Coming up next, death and divorce.
We will also get the latest news from Hollywood.
And while we could be in for a wet and cold Halloween night, as we continue on into November, things could start warming up. I'll return for the 5-day forecast after the break.
Where are we?
We're at Marietta College.
This is where we live, at Marietta College.
When kids need medical care, they face life-changing experiences. They miss out on the things that make being a kid fun. Starlight Children's Foundation programs entertain and inspire hospitalized kids. Learn more at starlight.org.
Marietta, a place some people call home.
A place of athletes.
A place of discovery.
A place for the future.
Your plan.
Your future.
Go Pios.
Tom Brady and Gisele Bundchen announced Friday that their 13 years of marriage, after 13 years of marriage, their divorce is finalized. According to court records, divorce documents were filed Friday in Glades County, Florida, and the divorce was made final the same day. Both parties posted on Instagram and said they had amicably reached a decision. They also called for privacy and claimed their priorities lie with their children.
Jerry Lee Lewis, rock and roll icon, died Friday, age 87. The icon died at his Mississippi home, according to Representative Zach Farnham. Some of Lewis's definitive albums include Great Balls of Fire and A Whole Lot of Shakin' Going On. Lewis had a run off top 10 country hits between 1967 and 1970. Lewis also received a Grammy in 1987 on a part of an interview album that was cited for Best Spoken Word Recording.
Elon Musk has taken over Twitter after a protracted legal battle and months of uncertainty. Musk bought the platform for $44 billion, and after buying the platform, Musk fired 75% of Twitter's executive board. Musk claims that he does want Twitter to be a free speech platform, but gives no clues as to how the site will be changing. In Hollywood news now, Taylor Swift's new album, as the kids would say, is going off, and there's a new Avatar movie coming out.
Here's Landon Santini with today's Hollywood Minute.
Hey everybody. Well, today, Taylor Swift's new album, Midnights, is red hot. Billboard magazine reports Midnight had the best first week of any album in nearly 7 years. It's already the year's top album in overall sales and vinyl sales, and it's tied Swift with Barbra Streisand for the most #1 albums by a female artist, that record being 11. In other news, it's been a long wait for the follow-up to James Cameron's Avatar, 13 years to be exact, and perhaps fittingly, the sequel will be a long movie. Though there's no official runtime yet, according to multiple reporters, Avatar, The Way of the Water, will run more than 3 hours. The original, which ran 2 hours and 41 minutes, is the top highest grossing movie of all time worldwide, with $2.9 billion at the box office. We'll see whether longer means even more money when Avatar, The Way of the Water, opens in theaters on December 16th. With today's Hollywood Minute, I'm Landon Santini. Happy Halloween. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for the look at Hollywood, Landon.
We'll head to Landon now for a look at the extended weather forecast.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to doing double duty. As I mentioned earlier, we had some high rainfall very early in the early hours of this morning before sunrise came, and they've now gone past us, right past this lovely looking bat cat here, right past the Ohio portion of the country thanks to the south winds I mentioned earlier, and it's now passing through the tri-state area of West Virginia and Pennsylvania into Maryland. So they're now dealing with the bulk of the rain that we had to deal with in the very early morning. The rain is so intense it's making them all vomit pumpkins. That's not a pleasant thing to do. So we're going to be having a bit of a break from that for a good chunk of Halloween. Though it is reported that there's a 40% chance that we might get one last bit of precipitation, so that could run a damper on some trick-or-treaters that may be planning to go out tonight. But some of that will have a bit of a side effect as going on throughout the rest of the week. We'll be having some cloudy conditions and the temperatures will be warming up gradually throughout the week. Wednesday we'll be having an expected high of 60, some boiled baby lobsters going on into Thursday with an even higher temperature of mostly clear skies and an expected high of 70. We start the weekend with even higher temperatures of an expected high of 73, mostly cloudy conditions, and then going on full swing into the weekend, even warmer temperatures with an expected high of 76. mostly cloudy conditions. I love lobsters just as much as anyone else. It's just a shame they're very expensive. Then going on into, yes, that's where we're going to end the 5-day forecast today. So we're dealing with some rather cold, potentially wet temperatures for tonight's Halloween night, and then going on to the rest of the week, it'll gradually get warmer and warmer. So despite what I said the last time we talked several weeks ago, we're not quite done with the summer temperatures just yet. We'll see how much longer this lasts as the months change tomorrow. But until then, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Landon. When we come back, Declan will have the latest in the world of sports.
Stay with us.
James Brown and Bill
I think
Cowher welcoming
tiny
you back to
lobsters
the
are
midnight
crawdads,
snack
aren't
run.
they?
This is one tricky obstacle course. He's reaching, but he pushes it away. He's approaching a plate of iced cookies. He blows right by him. Oh, the fridge. Looks like he's headed for the soda. Wait, he jukes left, grabs the water bottle. Now he's just got to get out of there. Look what dropped from the sky. Don't do it, Dennis. That's the way you execute a midnight snack run. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Marietta College, home of the pioneers. A small town on the Ohio River with a tight-knit community and tons of opportunity. Find a home here at Marietta College. Bring forth a pioneer.
What are we gonna do? Ta-da! All right. Come on, every pony. Woo!
Liza, I just love how ponies are better together.
Me too. You know, same thing with Girl Scouts, Kamiko. Every day they make each other shine a little brighter.
And they make the world around them a better place. So join Girl Scouts.
And be a part of the friendship and magic.
Sports.
Tell us what's been happening, Declan.
I'll give you the rundown now. The Broncos beat the Jacksonville Jaguars after losing 4 games straight. Latavius Murray scored a 2-yard touchdown late into the fourth. The final score was 21-17 at the Wembley Stadium. Russell Wilson led 2 scoring drives in the second half after returning from a hamstring injury. Kenny Pickett has had a rough patch with the Steelers. This follows a 35-13 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Pickett has started 4 straight games after replacing Mitch Trubisky as halftime at the 24-20 loss at the Jets on October 2nd. Pickett has shown promise, but has experienced issues. With weeks of riding the curb with yet another victory close, the New York Giants ran into more obstacles they could not beat. Injuries, turnovers, and Saquon Barkley sent the Giants into their bye week with a loss to the Seattle Seahawks. The Giants are still 6-2 with a much-needed break. New York has had 2 of their starters on their offensive line leading into the game due to injuries. Barkley is at a season low with 59 yards and 20 carries. That's all for sports. I'm Declan Garrett. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Declan. Joining us now at the desk is Landon for our last look at the weather.
Well, for our Halloween night tonight, it looks like we're going to be dealing with some cool, crisp weather with a possible 40% chance of rain. So here's hoping that it won't damper too much of the spirits of our trick-or-treaters tonight. But as we go into the month of November for the rest of the week, the temperatures will gradually start climbing up to the mid-70s as we get into the weekend. So, okay, summer is over. It's been over for a month, but it doesn't totally feel like it. So everyone's allergies are going crazy due to constantly switching back and forth between autumn and summer. Or is that just me? I really don't know. But do you guys have any plans for Halloween tonight?
I think I'm just going to carve some pumpkins and hang out with friends. Watch a little Monday Night Football.
Oh, yeah, a little Hocus Pocus maybe? The sequel was actually
Pocus
pretty good.
number 2.
Number 2.
Oh, yeah, it's a tear, without giving away the ending, that was a bit of a tearjerker there.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you like the witches as characters, you know? Sisterly bond and all that shit.
Oh,
good Lord.
How's it going?
Wow, that was totally unexpected. Yeah, lots of unexpected surprise for Halloween this time of year. And we'll have a lot more coming up when Thanksgiving comes around a month from now, hopefully.
Well, that's it for today's broadcast. Thank you for watching. We hope you'll join us Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12:30 and 6:30 for WCMO NewsCenter 15 Marietta College Broadcasting. See you next time.
Meet Candace. This senior basketball player loves to spend time hanging out before class